Welcome back to Tales from the PowerAge, and tonight we're taking you all the way back to 2025 and the Power Up Tour Part 2. Now try saying that after you've had a couple of drinks. Anyway, we had representation at the US of A, in France and in Scotland. We're going to tell you all about that, so really looking forward to that. Before we do that though, if you haven't seen us before, please give us a sub, give us a like, get involved. If you were at any of those gigs, tell us what your thought, what your memories were, or if you went to the tour, tell us what your thoughts of the tour were. We're going to go through each one of those dates, kicking off initially with the US of A. Now, what was interesting about this one is that a couple of the guys have been to gigs in various other countries. I know Gav's been to gigs in the States. Haven't you, Gav? You've been to, who have you seen in the States? Was it Alice in Chains?
Alice in Chains, Anthrax.
This was my first trip to the States for a gig, which was pretty amazing. Went with Donut, friend of the show, and you can see him there on one of the photos. Welcome to Boston. And after we finally got through immigration, and they ask you the question when you're going through immigration, what are you doing in America? We've come to see AC/DC. And the, oh, God, all right, off you go. And well, anyway, the great thing about Boston, if you've never been to Boston before, is two things. One, the flight's not that long. It's about 6 hours. And secondly, actually, it's not that expensive to get to. So we got there. Yeah, and Boston's really cool, right? Because the hotel, or Boston itself, is literally at 20 minutes, 15 minutes from the airport. So it's just like the other side of the river. So we jumped in a cab, got to the hotel, checked in, and made our way into Boston. And you can see a couple of pictures there at the dive bar, which wasn't really a dive bar; it's a pop-up. So it's a shop, isn't it? It's tiny. A couple of little bits of memorabilia in there. They were giving away a couple of cool things. So I picked up some of these stickers, and these were for Boston, the high voltage, which was quite cool.
Nice.
I also picked up this limited edition. Apparently, they only do 100 of these. These are like these collector cards. I mean, I think they're really into this stuff in the States with the tour dates in the back, which is quite. I think that was like $10, but the guy was saying they've only done 100 of them, and then you look online and they're going for silly money. But anyway, cool to pick that up. We then proceeded to get the nicest lobster roll in Christendom. It was amazing, absolutely fantastic, and that was at James Hook's bar. So if you ever go to Boston, I can heartily recommend that. And as you can see, we got out and about in Boston doing various bits and pieces. So there's a picture outside. I think it's the old State House there with a little bit of shopping. There's me and Donut at the baseball. We went to see the Red Sox, and I can't even remember who they were playing, but we had a brilliant day. And then there's a couple at the gig as well. What we also managed to do was visit a few pubs. So we're going to show you a little VT of one of the lovely pubs.
There he is. You wouldn't think you were in Boston, would you?
Not with Oxford United on the telly.
They like their Guinness.
Yeah, they do, and it was great. And they actually had Guinness Zero as well, believe it or not. So there you go.
It's not very busy.
One of your local Irish pubs. I think that was pretty early.
It's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning for you.
I bought a couple of shirts while I was over in the States. So this is probably I reckon this is my favourite AC/DC shirt, this one. So it's got the... But what was really cool on all the dates, they're all at American football grounds. So
that's brilliant. That's superb. That's really cool. I
think that's quite a nice. It's really cool, that.
Yeah, you haven't showed that before. That's brilliant.
Front row.
Especially for me.
Yeah, it's about 6 for your gaps. That's a nice.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That is cool. Yeah.
So it's quite cool. They did a black one as well, which Donut bought, but it didn't have all the different helmets on the back. There was the obligatory event shirt, which is on there, which is quite cool. So the scene of American independence, obviously. So that was great. And I did actually, as it was America, I thought, sod it, I'll pick up a couple more because I probably won't come in here again. There were a couple of more.
DC anyway.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later. There's a couple of nice tour t-shirts. So that's got like the train board on the back.
That's brilliant as well. They're really well produced, those. I really like those.
And this one as well, which was quite cool, North America, with the tour dates on the back as well.
Yeah.
But as you can probably appreciate, there was huge queues at the merch stand as there always is for these things. But I managed to pick up that adventure off the mannequin again, as I did in Amsterdam the year before, which was pretty cool. Yeah, so I think we got a few of the pictures there. These are all our photos. One from the side there, where I had a bit of a wander around. But you can see again the lights look brilliant as always. The production's absolutely fantastic. And this was part of the concert series, the Gillette concert series. And what made this particular stadium famous, and that screen in particular famous, is there was a certain concert by Coldplay at this venue.
Oh, right.
On that screen, there were a couple of people that found themselves viral after cuddling and then running off very quickly. So, yeah, that's probably what that screen's most famous for, ironically. So this may be part of that Gillette Stadium concert series. So, a couple of things to point out. Angus in yellow and blue, so absolutely brilliant. I literally fell out of the stand when I saw him strutting out in his yellow and blue outfit. Never seen him in yellow and blue before, so that was absolutely brilliant.
I think it's more gold, isn't it, for probably the gold and the Irish flag for the fact that it was in Boston.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. Tell us if you know in the comments. In my mind, that was yellow and blue. So I think it was celebrating Oxford's the fact they stayed up. So that was how that was in my mind.
I imagine it was that.
If we go to the set list, same set list as we'd had in Dublin, which we'd all been to. And Gav's rightly pointed out that Highway Tower was further up the set list as it had been in Dublin, whereas in early parts of the tour in 24, Highway Tower was a lot later in the set list. But it was great. He came out, Angus as always, If You Want Blood. Crowd were cheering away, clapping along. There are a couple of things from a crowd perspective that are different from Europe. All the floor was seated, with the exception of a very small section at the front that stood up.
Oh, wow.
So
did they go nuts, so do?
No, not really. Everyone's singing along.
Not like the European crowds, then, really.
No, I mean, compare that to Paris, there was no comparison whatsoever, or Edinburgh, to be fair. Yeah, so it was a tried and tested set list. We loved it. We got absolutely soaked, singing along all the way through. It was brilliant. Yeah, just really enjoyed it. It was a really, really great gig. I think the one thing that really stood out, apart from the fact it was great and they were really tight and seemed to be getting better, Brian's voice sounded brilliant. And you can check it out in some of the videos which I've uploaded on our live channel, which we'll show you a little bit later. But there are 4 or 5 songs that we've uploaded from this set, which I think you'll agree. If you see it, actually, it sounds brilliant. So they were great. Gav, I think there's a little clip of me in the hotel room the following day. So apologies if I repeat it.
Right, well, it's the day after the gig. As I already mentioned, first time seeing AC/DC or any band, frankly, in the States. It was great. So managed to book a train beforehand, which was the AC/DC Express from South Station in Boston, which was $20 return. Got there an hour before 5, got a drink in a bar at the station. We had a couple of drinks there, and then got on a double-decker train, which was huge. Stopped at the Back Bay, Denham on the way, and then Foxborough, which took probably just under an hour. It was packed by the time we got there. You can see the stadium as you're coming in. You get out like these woods. You come out of the station. I think it's probably a 7-minute walk up to the stadium. A couple of things that are really different over here to the to Europe. The car park was packed. I think they call it tailgating, so everyone's at the back having barbies, having a few beers, etc., just enjoying the occasion, which is great. We walked on up, got into the stadium. Donut came with us. He struggled to get his bum bag in. They turned him away. He said to go and put it back in your car or the locker. Sadly, the car's 2,000 miles away back in England, so he just put it under his jumper and walked in. So, sorry, security in Gillette Stadium. And then we saw a little bit of Pretty Reckless, but it was raining, so the weather was pretty bad, if I'm honest. We'd had great weather all weekend. We then went in to watch AC/DC, and they were great. Brian sounded brilliant. It sounded really, really good, actually. And it just seemed to give them another kick up the arse with the rain pouring down for pretty much most of the show. The stadium's huge, and if you've not been to the Gillette Stadium before, this is where the New England Patriots play. It reminds me a little bit of the new camp in Barcelona because there's no roof, or what the new camp used to look like. So it looks absolutely huge and brilliant, but of course not great when it's raining. But we batted on, we had our ponchos on, we enjoyed the gig. We left just before the end to get back to our train. We've been told specifically that if you don't get there half an hour before it within half an hour of the gig ending, then you'll just get left. We spoke to a couple of locals actually. They said they'd only recently started putting the train on, so they did it for the Rolling Stones last year because everybody was complaining that they couldn't get in and out of Boston. So Foxborough is like a really small little town, and of course Boston's the main city. Any other shout outs? The rhythm section of the band again were absolutely brilliant. Just really a powerhouse behind Angus and Brian, which is great. Stevie Young's awesome as well, just really cooking with the riffs. The stage show again looked absolutely brilliant. The screens were superb. Huge 10 out of 10. Really loved it. So that's it from America. That's a wrap. And just one thing: if you do come here, bring loads of cash. Not for the drink, or the beers and the brilliant food, but just the amount of sports tat and stuff we've ended up buying. Oh my God, can't get it home. There's so much stuff. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that. See you soon. Cheers, bye.
So there you go. We did. We had an issue the day we were doing a night flight on the Monday back. So the gig was on the Sunday night, and we had to go into Primark. And Primark, if you want to send us some vouchers, please do, for advertising you. We had to go there to buy some more bags to get our gear home because we bought so much stuff we couldn't get it into the bags we'd taken. Anyway, it was great. It was brilliant.
You look tired there in that video, man.
Yeah, he did look tired, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I was a bit poorly as well, I think. I got a bit poorly before I went, so my voice was going a bit. And obviously, having been singing along the night before as well. Yeah. But I was tired, not half as tired as I was when I got back after the overnight flight back. I'd really recommend it. It's brilliant. Safest city I've been to on the whole tour. And just everyone was so friendly, and it was great. And it wasn't, honestly, it's not out of reach. That was Boston, or Foxborough. Huge thumbs up. Then a couple of months later, it seemed like an eternity. And this was a bit of a weird one for me because I've seen quite a few gigs on my own before. And I quite often, as we all do, I know Jam does and Gav does occasionally, we'll go into London, go and watch a gig, but you can be home in an hour. This was a bit of I was umming and ahhing whether to go because I got the ticket, and the guy, the guy I normally go with, Flotty, was, I'll go, and then lastminute.com, he'd said, I can't go. Anyway, it started getting nearer the date, and I thought, you know what, sorry, I'll go, I'll give it a go. And what I did with this one, I booked the Eurostar from London with a hotel. It was like 250 quid. It right in the centre of Paris. I mean, I couldn't believe it. That's your return journey on the train and your hotel, which I think actually is pretty good, and it's definitely worth considering.
Very good.
Yeah. When you think how much
we all said that, didn't we? How reasonable that was.
Well, I tell you, it wasn't a bad hotel either. It's a 3-star hotel, and it was absolutely fine. Anyway, the good news is I got a connection at Eurostar, and when I got to London, I was in the waiting lounge and got a call from this guy and said, you need to go and speak to such and such on carriage 6, which I did, and then got there, and there was gainfully upgraded to first class, which was amazing. So I was sitting in a little seat, champagne, wine, menu.
When you say a connection, you mean a very good friend.
A very good friend, and he knows.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. So it honestly just it was beautiful weather, amazing day. So that was I think I left London about 11:20, something like that. Got into Paris, got off at Paris. The stop was 1 stop away for the hotel, which was great, or 2 stops. Dropped my gear off, got back into the underground, and then went straight to the stadium, which was about 8 stops from the stop that I got off at, just on the metro. And yeah, there you go. So there was the merch stand, all your normal fare. I made a mistake. I should have bought a poster because the Paris poster was amazing, and I regret not doing that. The ticket situation was really interesting, right? Because you either showed your phone or you printed out your ticket, right? So I printed out my ticket, which is quite cool because I kept it. I printed a couple of them out. But if you get into standing, right? Because I was trying to, all the French were brilliant as well. They were chatting away as much as they could do. A lot of them were from southern France. I was saying they would never get away with this in England because can you imagine at Wembley, right? If you were showing your ticket to get in like that, paper ticket you printed off, there were 4 of you standing, you'd all go in and then bring 3 of the tickets back in to get the rest of your mates in.
Correct.
Because they weren't scanning it.
No.
I said, if this was England, there would be 70,000 people in the front pit. And they were going, oh, no, I didn't really think about it. So whereas the other gigs, you get the wristbands and stuff over in the UK, and I don't know about Germany, so tell us. But yeah, I thought that was quite funny. But the French were brilliant. They were really chatty. The weather was amazing. The stadium's absolutely huge. I'd seen AC/DC there 15 years earlier with Gav, which was amazing, and Flotty. That was a great gig. I was chatting to one of the crew actually, just outside, another guy that we'd met in Amsterdam, and Taylor Monson walked right past me with said hello from Pretty Reckless with a band, then turned around again. About 2 minutes later, came walking straight past again. In hindsight, probably should have tried to get a photo, or made a bit of an effort to say hi, but we didn't. So if you're watching, Taylor, thanks for saying hi back. So they did their set, as you'd expect. They got a really good reception for the French. You can say whatever you like about the French, but they were really up for it, and they absolutely love AC/DC. So I'm not going to lie, I was actually a little bit tearful at this gig, probably because I'd had about 15 bottles of wine. Only joking. Only because I'd had a few beers and wine, etc., leading up to the point. But they just sounded brilliant, and the crowd was so up for it. And again, if you want to see some of the vids, there's some of the vids and shorts uploaded onto our live channel. Some of the shorts have had over 50,000 views, so check it out. They're really, really great. And Angus was on fire, but the band were definitely feeding off the crowd. You could definitely feel it. And me and the French guys that were there, I was sitting at the side, so a side view of the stage, restricted view in inverted commas, which you can see on the ticket. But actually, it was brilliant. The sound was great. The band were brilliant, but you could see the atmosphere of the crowd. It was top notch. And I am genuinely quite emotional at this gig. It was just, it was absolutely brilliant. A couple of things from the gig. One thing really. I got the event shirt, which actually is probably another one of my favourites, which is quite cool. So it's coming out Angus at the Stade de France. And then you've got, I think they did one of these for Wembley, I think last year, where they did every single date that they played in Paris.
Yeah, they did.
Which is quite cool.
Yeah.
And they got a few dates wrong, didn't they, do?
Yeah, they did. Well, they did on the London one, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I missed a couple as well, I think. So back to the hotel, no problem. Fans all great on the train on the way back. I got up relatively early in the morning, took a couple of pictures of Sacré-Cœur because I was staying right next to that. Thought I'd head back to the station, got there, and they said, we'll get you on an earlier train if you like. I said, happy days. Got on the train. This is absolutely no word of a lie. I was back at home on my sofa watching my videos at 10:30 in the morning.
Wow.
I mean, how cool is that? A lovely day. I had a Paris shirt on, and I was so proud of myself, so pleased with myself that I got all that way on my own, had a great time, enjoyed the gig, and I've been gone less than 24 hours.
That's cool.
Nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. So
that's cool. When you have a decision to make and you're thinking, what do I do? And then you know that you've made the right decision. Validation. That's very, very cool.
I think it's hard. It's always hard in photos to
No, from where you were though, look at those photos. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And the weather was amazing, Gaps. It was so hot. But yeah, the crowd were just absolutely loving it. It was brilliant. And it's a great stadium. And you read all the stuff about the stadium, that it's really rough outside. You've got to be careful. Don't go on your own. That was probably one of the things I was thinking, oh, God.
Yeah.
But just with all the AC/DC fans, you're in an army of 90,000 people. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It was really
It's a safe feel, isn't it? It's a safe vibe. We've said it before, like Maiden at the London Stadium in 2025. Over in Bratislava, it's such a wealth of DC, especially a lot of travellers as well, like yourself. A lot of people travelling across. Fair play.
There's the set list. Obviously, you'll notice the change, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, which was absolutely delighted with. So they've been swapping up Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be with Dog Eat Dog off to Drop In Rock and Roll Train. So, yeah, I mean, that's one of my favourite songs. Absolutely brilliant. And it went down an absolute storm with the red lights all over the crowd as well. Looked brilliant. And just banging your head away to that was fantastic. Fireworks were inside the stadium, not outside, which I thought was interesting. So similar to Amsterdam, which was indoor because the roof was covered. But the firework display was nowhere near on the scale of Boston, Wembley, Bratislava, as an example, Dublin. So it was inside the stadium. But look, it was cool. And again, I've got a bit of Those About to Rock in Paris. So if you want to check it out and see how that played out, give it a look.
So you got to stay for the end of this one, then, do you? Got the rock in full.
Well, because I had a hotel, and it was only underground, just down the road. I thought, well, I'll just stay in.
But when you're talking Paris with DC, I don't know about you boys, but there was the Bon, the Let There Be Rock video that was Parisian, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it always feels very, because like the rest of you guys, I'm sure I spent hours and hours and hours watching that, and especially like the Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. Some of those songs, Walk All Over You, that are on that iconic video. It's so Parisian, that video. It adds such a vibe that it makes it feel, I would guess Paris feels very special, doesn't it, for DC? I imagine that for you, Dill, as well, with the emotions. It's like DC all seem to resonate with Paris, don't they?
Oh, definitely. And the French love AC/DC. Yeah, I mean, and you're just embraced. So, they're all chatting away to me, queuing up to get in. Oh, they loved it. That I come over from England on my own to see AC/DC. And they're going, oh, it's great. I was trying to get them signed up to the podcast. So if any of our new fans are on here watching this, then
bonjour.
Hi, bonjour.
Like, I'm done. I'm out now.
Well done, mate.
Yeah. A couple of things, which is quite funny. Also in Paris, they had loads of these. So these are I've got one of these for you, Jan, as well.
Yeah, cheers.
With the European tour dates. And this one in particular is my favourite.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Nice.
Highway to Hell. What I also realised is I must have had 7 pints at the gig because I got 7 of them. No wonder I was emotional.
You get more and more emotional every day.
Yeah, but it was just brilliant. So that was
nice.
That was Paris, and we covered off the set list. So next up was the spiritual home of AC/DC. Well, you could argue it's Glasgow, but Scotland, of course, and that was Edinburgh. So there's me and Flotty, and what's worrying about that, the evidence of that, we're in the Spoons in St Pank, and if you look behind you, there's a clock.
8:15.
So we were just having a little loosener to get us ready for the day, and we had we'd upgraded ourselves to first class for this one, so I think it was about 35 quid each to go first class on the way up. We thought we'd go in style, as it might probably be the last time we ever see DC. It was the first time in Scotland, so we were really excited. I think it was about 4 hours on the train. Again, it took me longer to get to Edinburgh than it did to Paris. So it's unbelievable. And you just don't think like that, do you? Because Edinburgh is on our own little island. But yeah, there you go. There's a couple of our mates there. There's Sean, who we bumped into the next day. And we're going to tell you about that in a few minutes. There's Plunkett as well. We managed to hook his mate up with a couple of his mates up with tickets as well, which is really, really good. And we haven't seen him since Amsterdam. There's Billy and his mate as well. And there's another guy in the bottom right-hand corner who, I'm sorry for forgetting your name, but came up to me outside one of the pubs and said, oh, we watch you guys all the time. You're great. So, yeah, well done, mate. Good to see you. And put a comment when you watch this one. Just a reminder to see you all. So that was the bit going up. There's a couple of plectrums there, which I thought I'd just show you. This is Angus's plectrums. It's a powered up plectrum. I've got 2 of those, which are really, really cool. There's Stevie Young collection, which is used. And what's really interesting,
Absolutely battered.
And you know what? That's not dissimilar to a Malcolm Young collection that I've got that's used. So it's in the blood, right? So he's certainly doing it justice.
And that was amazing. When I first saw that, I couldn't believe it because I've seen your Malcolm on form before. It's quite unbelievable. When you see that, that's just freaky, isn't it? It's just,
especially the fact he's only used it once.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? So it's absolutely battered. So this was from a good friend of ours who's got connections with the crew, which is great. I also managed to acquire the set list from Oslo, which is pretty cool. And you'll notice they played Dog Eat Dog in Oslo and not Callan, a bad place to be. So we got when we got to Edinburgh, you see a couple of pictures there. I did manage to get. We got up there about 2:20. Billy had driven up. He picked us up. We went to the dive bar. I rushed in. I purchased a Malcolm for the memory, and I'll share that in a few minutes. And then we got a couple of bits around. I think that's the T-shirt print, isn't it, Gav?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything about the tartan? Anyone know what the tartan is?
The young tartan.
It is. Yeah. Anyone know anything about that old dog as well?
Scotty dog.
It looks like your dog.
He does a lot. Yeah.
It looks like Angus.
I can't remember this guy.
By the way, Dill's dog's called Angus.
This dog's a really famous dog, and he's basically when his owner died, he used to go every single day to the cemetery and just sit by his grave every day. It's quite sweet, isn't it? But I can't tell us who he is in the comments. There's the ticket as well, which I've forgotten I'd ordered when I ordered the tickets. That arrived a couple of days after the event. So cool. So the bits. Here's the T-shirt, just to prove that I did get the T-shirt. There it is in all its glory.
I like that.
It's another classic, isn't it? They did some really good T-shirts on this tour. Jesus.
Yeah, especially the second part of it as well, which is really great. There's a couple of pictures that I managed to take because Flotty and I were down the front. So I think there's a bit of us going in, isn't there, Gav? So there you go, front standing.
DC battle jacket.
Yeah, got my battle jacket, which I wore for this one. And you can see Murrayfield starting to fill up. It was cool. Again, everyone brilliantly friendly. I managed to. The photos were so good. I made myself a little book online afterwards. With,
Cool.
Oh, that's amazing, Dale. Well done.
Quite good, isn't it? So I was quite pleased with myself with that. But, yeah, some of the photos were really cool. Anyway, there you go.
Were they selling programs?
They were, and I have got it.
Oh, hang on a minute.
So this was the one from the EU Europe 24. So quite a thick program. They're 20 quid. So actually, it's quite good value, I think, for what you get. But the 25 program is different on the front. There are some pages that are the same, but there are some differences because they had been clearly taking photos from the tour. So there's some pictures of the fans, which is great from the tour so far. And there's also, if I can find it, there's a brilliant picture of the band at Wembley Stadium, which is this one. I love that photo. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
So again, if you're a real collector and you thought I didn't get the 25 program because it looks exactly the same as the one the year before, it is slightly different. So I probably just made you spend another £20 from the official shop.
But you know what? 20 notes, that isn't bad. That's less than half the price of a T-shirt. That's not bad at all. When it's that thick, it's fair play.
Yeah, so pretty amazing. So we go to the set list. There was one massive difference in the set list that Fling Thing was played, and I think it was the first time actually Fling Thing had been played since 1980, which was amazing. So we were just hoping so much that they were going to play it, and of course they did. It was brilliant. Again, this was
the Jailbreak single.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. So again, you can pick that up, the UK version, and definitely worth getting. So they did that on the encore. the gig had just been brilliant. It'd been a relatively sunny day, but the evening was cloudy or dreary as you'd expect in Scotland. But the gig was just great. Angus buggered up the beginning of Thunderstruck a little bit. So me and Flotty were talking about it afterwards and saying, do you know what, in a funny way, it's just nice to know they're playing it live.
Proof.
It's great to know they're doing it. And he soon got it back on track, and they were just great. It was brilliant. And what was really good as well, we were right down the front, and you looking into Angus's eyes, I could hear Brian singing over the microphone. We were that close. So it was brilliant. Not one bad thing to say about it. We stayed in a nice place up in Leith. Number of these videos are on as well. So we've got Fling Thing and TNT close up, and one a little bit further back. A number of shorts uploaded. I think we've got Shot Down in Flames as well on the live channel. So I Have a Drink on Me. But anyway, look, check it out. There's a few decent ones on there. But it was brilliant. And you come out. What more do you want after coming out from an AC/DC gig?
Pint.
Thick head, ringing ears, and a big smile on your face, and think that was great. So yeah, it was brilliant. It was absolutely super. This was from the corporate lounge, apparently.
Apparently, why? How do you know it wasn't from the corporate lounge?
I've just been
You
told.
just managed to pick it up, did you?
I've just been told it was from the corporate lounge.
How'd you manage to get your hands on one then?
No comment. I did. I even managed to acquire this huge banner as well, which is also now proudly in my man cave, which does look absolutely brilliant. So I think next time we have a party around at my house, this will be up outside, proudly displayed in front of the drinks, which I think would be absolutely brilliant. So there you go. That was the trick. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from it in terms of the different gigs. They were all brilliant. I should show you Malcolm actually while I'm here, because he's really cool. There you go.
Oh, so when you said you got a Malcolm, I didn't know.
There is. We've got a Malcolm and an Angus now. Cool.
Okay, so it wasn't a blow up god or
It's
something.
definitely better than the Angus.
Well,
Yeah, it's way better.
I think
That is good.
either way. So so look, I hope you enjoyed that. Tell us what you thought about the gig that you went to, if you went, or any other thoughts about Power Up. We know they're going to Australia, so we've got what's next. They're going to Australia in December.
Oh, you're going to Australia, Dil?
I wish I was. That might be a little bit too far.
I wouldn't bet against it.
I was
No, I
going to
wouldn't
say,
bet against it
in
either.
what way would it be too far? Or
Well,
miles or
It is a long way, isn't it? I mean, it's not
From
just
your-
going there and back. It's like, you'd have to stay for the cricket as well, wouldn't you, if you're going out there? So I think.
that's an idea.
I'd
Yeah.
put a fiver on it.
The Ashes are
Anyway,
Dil. So overall, how many times did you see it on the whole Powered Up tour? 24 and 25.
8.
7, wasn't it?
8, yeah.
So
So
which-
three this year, 5 last year.
As far as gig, which can you pick?
Oh, do you know
Can
what?
you pick?
Dublin was an amazing weekend because we all went together. That was absolutely fantastic.
It was a special time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great, and it was when you think about the whole package, that was brilliant because we had such a great time together. Paris was really emotional. I was so proud of myself going over on my own. That was brilliant. We had a great time in Boston. Bratislava was amazing.
That was fantastic.
But I guess Edinburgh was really special because right down the front. It was great. I managed to get down the front at Amsterdam, not for the whole gig. Down the front at Wembley, one of the gigs, but not for the whole of the gig. We were right down the front for the whole gig, so it was that was pretty cool. But they've all been good, and you know what? When you think about making memories and doing stuff that you like and spending time with your mates, they've all been great.
Fair comment.
Hard to say. They've all been brilliant. But I think the show, in terms of the show, Paris was probably the best.
Okay.
And I'm only saying that because I was the only one that went, and no one can deny. So what's next? When Flight and I were talking about this on the way back from Leith, and when we were coming back from Leith to go to the station, there was a bit of a commotion going on outside the station. There's a huge hotel called the Balmoral Hotel. I said, bloody hell, Flight, I reckon DC are there. So we trundled over there, and they started putting crash barriers up. And we thought, you know what, we'll hang on a little bit longer just to see if anyone comes out. And lo and behold, we could see Angus's bodyguard because we'd seen him before, and there were people hanging around that we knew were connected with the band. There was a huge limo there, and then suddenly there was about 1,000 people outside the hotel. So anyone that knows Edinburgh, Princes Street, which goes along past Edinburgh Waverley Station and the Balmoral Hotel, was closed. The police closed the hotel, closed the road. So we were then stressing because our train was leaving. We booked specific tickets to go back on this train. And we were like, what should we do? Should we stay or should we go? And we thought, oh, sod it, we'll just stay. So we missed our train. And then 10 minutes later, Brian came up. And I think we got the vid, Gav.
Yeah.
There you go. If you want to know how big AC/DC are, there it is right there. The whole street going this way was closed. I mean, goodness knows how many people stood there. But it was brilliant. So we missed our train. We managed to get another ticket back. But there was a little bit of not a sting in the tail, and actually a good thing that our train was delayed going back, and we got delay repaying half our money back for the extra ticket.
Hey!
And Flotty didn't know about delay repay until that, which was really great. So back to the question, Jam, what do I think they'll ever come again? Well, we were talking about, we didn't think they'd ever play again after Black Ice. And we went 6 times on that tour. And then Rock or Bust came and Brian ended up out of the band and Axel took over and it was almost like they had to finish the tour. Didn't think they'd ever come again. I'm pretty sure they'll be back. I don't think they'll be. Because I tell you what, they're getting better every gig as well. And honestly, they were amazing. So there you go. Well, as I've already mentioned, we've got a live channel. We've got loads of stuff on the live channel. So loads of stuff coming up on the live channel. So we've got Michael Schenker on the live channel. We've got Status Quo. We've got Ozzy. We've got Black Sabbath. And we've got a whole pile of AC/DC as well. We've got more stuff coming. We've got the Mighty Saxon on there. And they'll be coming up soon because we're all off to see those in a few weeks, which will be great. Check it out. Please give that a subscribe as well. And what I would say is nearly 3 million viewers. Can't be wrong. And as the motto says, we are the #1 channel in rock and metal. Now, if you want to know what we're up to, you can check us out on Facebook on Tales from the PowerAge. We're on X on Tales from the PowerAge at TTFTPR. You can have a chat with us on there. We're on TikTok, and that can't be wrong either. We're flying on that. Who knew we'd be on TikTok? But we are. So check that out. We're uploading videos onto that too. We're on Bluesky. We're on Instagram on Tales from the PowerAge. You can buy merch, and for all the people that have bought merch so far, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, you're legends. And finally, if you want to know a little bit more about us, you can on www.talesfromthepowerage.com, and it tells you all about how long we've been mates and all the different gigs that we've been to. Now, if you've enjoyed that or you've enjoyed any of our other stuff, you can say thanks by buying us a beer. We're pretty much skint from all these gigs we've been going to, so anything you can add to the coffers or the fund would be much appreciated, so give that a tap. But if not, just get involved in the comments and likes, and we'll see you soon. Speak to you later. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, deal with that, boys.
Ta-da.
Welcome back to Tales. Bloody hell.
Welcome back to Tales from the Power Up.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
No, well,